Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to our live episode podcast of The Garage. Did I say that right? A live episode of our podcast, The Garage. So tonight panel with the fresh cut, Kristen.
Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, man. Angel, Mr. Khalees.
Vice President.
His cut is always fresh today. You know, Angel cut his own here. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I've been in the country for like quarter of a century. I've never been to a barber shop.
No joke, you know?
I've never been to a barber shop.
No joke.
It costs too much.
And look at it. It's clean, right?
Oh, it's amazing, bro. It's a perfect.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Maybe I maybe come do some visitation.
Our executive producer, Michael Porter.
In the house.
Himself, Michael White. Yes, people. It's good to be back. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like we haven't done this in a long time,
right? We just missed like a week or so. Yeah,
right.
A week.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
So Angel, what's up, man?
Everything's good, you know what I mean? We're living life one day at a time, giving thanks to the Most High, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Preston, what you been up to?
Oh, things has been amazing. A lot of stuff happened. Lot of. I'm sorry.
Like you won the lottery, man.
No. It's something
amazing.
good. Something amazing happened this week, so it's pretty good.
You got into Yale. You got into Yale.
Oh no!
Who gonna pay for that?
Yeah, he's telling you contemplate.
Should it be Harvard?
Yeah, he's telling you contemplate whether or not you want to drop this blessing out there.
They're government grants, no? Scholarships and stuff like that. No, I heard Donald Trump was giving out
You're going to Yale. You get
$50 billion.
You get government grant.
$50 billion. Yeah, I heard Donald.
Dad, can you buy
No,
out a
not
building
Donald
for
Trump.
me,
I heard
please?
the government gives
Oh, they're gonna give you a grant, right? You mean your tuition is
Harvard
like $5
University.
billion, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll give you 100,000.
Yeah, I heard the government gives Harvard University around $50 billion annually.
50 billion?
50 billion.
Really?
So it should be for free.
It should be.
That's what I say. So that's what's going on in the media now. The back and forth.
Yeah, education should really be free. We're giving back
I mean, they're getting so much
to
money
the
up front.
economy, right?
Because it's a private institution, right?
Right.
Harvard. But yes, still they get funds from the government.
But I don't understand that too. Why they getting funds if they are a private institution and they're making their own, generating their own funds? Why they need help for? And it's an Ivy League school.
It's an Ivy League, yeah.
So it's like you don't have.
Most of the students that go there, like they're pretty well off. Their family's pretty well off. So
well off. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
The majority. Yeah.
There's always some cutbacks and some on the table business.
So you know what they take that money to do? They invest it in the stock market.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
And they make what around 200 billion annually, and that
How much?
investment 200 billion. So they get a 50 billion investment. They invested in the stock market, and they get a
200 billion.
Yeah, so that's
So
like 150%.
150 billion
return.
in their
150%.
So they can tell Trump take back his 50 billion.
No, so that's what the back and forth is about. No, they're saying, okay, because you don't have to fund them, you know. I guess they have some form of agreement, so the government, gives them that. But they don't have to. And they don't have to listen to what the government say, or tells them to do.
Correct, right.
They don't have to.
I'm pretty sure the government has some type of control or influence if they pumping that much money.
Of course.
You understand?
Listen, I want my grandkids, my grandkids, my uncle, my nephew, my niece, my aunt, everybody up in here.
Right, and them and them individuals who are going out protesting anti this and anti that, you want to cut that.
So what they're trying to tell them is that they should cut certain things out of, like, I don't know if it's a curriculum or whatever
based
goes
on
on
some
in
of
the
the
school.
curriculum,
It's
yeah.
like It's like, for example, what your pronouns are, you know, he, she, her, yeah,
X.
stuff like that. They're saying the government is saying, or this administration, Donald Trump administration is saying they need to get rid of that. They need to get rid of what DEI.
The
They need to get rid of all of those stuff that don't make sense because
Diversity, equity, and inclusion
right because
doesn't make sense.
when you check certain institutions in China, they're not worried about stuff like that. What are your pronouns? You know, transgender rights and all those stuff. They're more focused on the technology for the next 10 years.
And individual contribution, I guess, what an individual could provide, regardless of if they're
Right.
male or female.
Right.
I feel like
All that nonsense. Just
You know.
I feel like DEI would be like more. If you got hired because of DEI, I feel like that would be more of an insult to you than
someone
than anything
with
else
some
because-
sensible argument.
But
Say that
no,
again. man. Say that
it
again.
would be on.
It would.
It would be an answer because if you were going to,
No, I'm saying that's a sensible argument.
yeah, if you're
Can you
going
repeat that?
to determine whether or not someone's qualified based on their pronouns rather than their merits, then
But
The
remember,
qualification.
DEI was to create a balance that if you are hiring me, you're not hiring me based on the color of my skin. You're hiring me based on the skills what I have here.
No, it's actually the other way around.
No, it's supposed to create. I mean, it's supposed to be the well, it's the other way around. But what it originally designed for is that. 'Cause remember, back in the days, up until even the mid, like 2012, 2008, around those times, people were making decisions based on the texture of your skin. So you come in, and you may have the great skills. And there was some of the things they would tell you overqualified. But at the same time, you have guys would come in and they would say, okay, you know what? You have this type of skills, you have this type of skills. This person's qualified. Now, I'm black, right? You have a Caucasian coming with the same skills. He would get a more looked upon than you would have the same skills, same qualification. DI came in to balance that out. That you will have the same skills. This Hindu guy would have the same skills. This guy would have the same skills. However, we're going to pick on the person who has the best advanced knowledge based on.
I think that's what they all been doing.
No,
I mean,
they be playing these picking what they.
Can you prove that?
I mean, of course, it was exposed. That this is why one of the things DEI came in place. Because a lot of companies, a lot of the consumers or people were complaining about it because they were saying they were being pushed aside. They were not challenged. They were not picked because of the skills what they have. They were picked. They were pushed. Well, they were not picking. They were not getting picked because of the knowledge they have. People were getting picked over them who have less skills, but because the color of their skin.
Who said that?
This was going on.
Those-
Sometime I wonder.
those are this one's pretty recent. But there's a I think someone in the either fire force. Yes, firefighter. Someone got hired because of DEI and I think they were picked over like another person.
But what skills do you need to have to be a firefighter? Though?
Oh, obviously you need strengths. Obviously you need strengths. Discipline, of course. Quick adaptability. You could adapt to your surroundings. Level head. A sense of leadership as well, especially if you're going into a chief position, which this person was in, by the way. This DEI hire, they were hired to be a chief position, and so far from what I've seen, they're not even that qualified. In fact,
No, I heard that too. I heard.
yeah, they in fact they're from what I've heard, like they're like they're apathetic as well. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like the in interview she was having, she was like, condescending like the victims that would get hurt, like oh, if you're letting a woman get carry you out of the burning house or something, or you should just stay. I don't know exactly what she said, but she was being like so condescending to the point where it is that something really a firefighter would say, like you should let yourself be burnt, or let yourself die.
You weren't worthy of being rescued,
Huh?
like they weren't worthy of being rescued,
Something like that. Yeah, because they they would insult her or something like. It's been a while since I brushed myself up on this topic. But if you could,
pretty interesting though.
yeah.
The thing is with this fire department, this is one thing. With the fire department, to be honest with you, it's not based on skills, to be honest. The majority of the hiring going on. He's like, hey, Tommy, yo, I got a brother over here. Your brother got a cousin. Your cousin got a nephew.
Connect. I mean,
That's
yeah.
all it is.
So I don't knock certain
I
things
think-
that works for me, but go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I think those standards were being lowered because the recruiting rates weren't high. You can't require all these criteria, all these qualifications if you're not getting individuals applying. So then they had to lower the standards. But I think definitely got to have mental readiness, because being a firefighter is not just for everybody. Some individuals go home and take that stuff home and they mentally
I
broken
agree.
apart. So
Right.
the
That's true.
acuity has to be there.
But the funniest thing is that even within that structure, you still you would have, like, I don't know if it's still the same, but for years, especially in Long Island, I mean, you and the police department, they pay very good out there, from the police department to the fire department. It's like all these local cops here want to go over there to become, but it's not that
I
easy.
mean, less crime, why not?
It's not that easy to get over there. Same thing with the fire department, and it's just all connections. It's not even based on qualifications anymore.
And then that's another thing too. Because of that, you're putting more harms to people's way, because some of these people are not qualified to do the job. I mean, for example, you would go if say you're in a trapped car, right? Who would you want? The overweight cop, or the strength, or the muscular cop that could pull you out, bro? Which one would you want?
Anyone. Anyone.
Nah, that's a valid question though. Who gonna get
You
faster?
over here talking about anyone.
Right. You need
So
some.
you're gonna sit.
I think you need someone who's gonna be fit and ready.
Dude,
Yeah.
yo,
Listen, if you're in a burning car, right, and you need someone to save you, listen, even the ATS would call upon God.
Nah, I think
what do you mean? If you, Mike, come on, look at it. You're in
Nah,
a
but-
car and you have a 300 guy sitting beside you. And the cars, he needs to run around, come around the other side before some type of click or it melts some air that he can't open the door.
right. Somebody
You're
trying to
still
catch
gonna
their,
wind-
somebody trying to
wind-
catch their breath before they get to you. It's gonna be a situation.
Nah, but once upon a time, cops, I don't know about now though, but cops used to be like really big, Cops used to be really big, right? 'Cause they eat what, like a lot of junk food.
Donuts.
Right.
They live on that.
That's a stereotype, man.
So
That's not no stereotype. What are you talking about? I'm confident in telling you that.
before cops, before they would shoot you to slow you down, no, they wouldn't catch you because they can't outrun you, like. But yeah, definitely someone who's fit, you would want to rescue you.
I used to see cops, midweight, your size, my size, just angel size or so forth. Now, for the last probably about decade and a half or so, I've seen guys. There was this show, this cops show I usually watch, where they catch local criminals, shoplifting, etc., or troubled teens and stuff like that. And So this mom called the cops on her teenager. She was spazzing out. She was going out. I'm like, man, this team wants somebody to throw her. Anyway, the cop came, but they playing it from the body cam, so you just hear them talking. So I'm like, the cop is there addressing her, like being patient with her and like whatever. And eventually now they reach outside. They're like, listen, you've been disrespectful all night. I'm allowing you to do this. Enough is enough. Long story short, so after now, there's like a little roughly went on. And somehow there's another cop joined them. When I turn around, when the new cop joined, and then his camera started facing the cop, this guy was like 6,000 pounds. And I'm like, so
That's a stretch.
Fact check.
no, to tap it off. No, to tap it off.
6,000 pounds.
He got his own orbit, bro.
No, to
6,000
tap it
pounds is
off.
a lot, man.
No, to tap it off. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but he was a heavy duty. He was at least 350, 360. More than that. And then to tap it off, his partner that's joined him, he was like 400. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then the kid now, what they're wrestling, she's like half of me. I'm just like,
All she needs is a half a mile sprint to get away, bro.
all she have to do is just walk fast.
So you're saying that
Those are precious.
they were
times.
basically discriminating during these hiring process.
I don't know.
Say
Too
what?
much. But again,
I think
You
there's a
have a
fitness
chick.
requirement like every year though.
you have to
Yeah,
have.
there is,
I
but
mean,
they're lowering it. They're lowering it like significantly. I mean, if you look at Canada's, theirs has been like lowered significantly in order to accommodate to these unqualified workers. Like for the training measurement, it's not up. I wouldn't say it's up to par to keep like citizens safe.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's and this, probably because of the states. Remember, they have also states regulation, their rules. So I guess some of these states, they are allowing some of these cops to, because I mean, if you have these annual fitness training thing or quarterly maintenance, like New York have this quarterly fitness rigorous training we have to go to kind of maintain your health,
Right.
your speed, et cetera. I guess these states, they're like, okay, to heck, what is it? We need bodies or whatever the case may be. Or, I don't know, but how, if you need to get involved of chasing someone or, you walking too fast and you...
It's a body is a body.
A body's a body
What do
for
you
real.
call it?
A body's a body.
A body ain't a body.
The heavier the presence, the less like nigga gonna try you. So body's a body.
So what's up with this ID thing? They say you need there's a real ID and there's a fake ID.
Real ID and a figure. Yeah, so you have a real ID and you have an enhanced ID. Now, the real ID is basically it's allow you to travel within the 50 states without a
That's
passport.
the enhanced ID, not
No, that's the real ID. Real ID allow you to travel within the 50
no.
states.
I just said.
What's the
real and
difference with the
fake.
real ID and the enhanced ID?
Okay, so the real ID is allow you to travel in the 50 states, and it also clarified that you have to go to a rigorous verification method, like you need your passport, your birth certificate, your social security number
Right.
to get that real ID.
Proof
So
of
once you
residency.
have that, it's a high chance they know that you're legit in this country. That's one of the tactics behind it as
You're
well.
able to get on a commercial
Right.
flight.
And then
Okay.
you also can use it as on the commercial flight. The enhanced ID now, it allow you to travel to Mexico
Okay.
out of the different country.
Or Canada.
The foolishness, no, not only Mexico.
Okay.
The foolishness behind that, which I still cannot understand the logic of that, is that you can travel, leaving the U.S. with the enhanced enhanced ID and travel to Mexico.
You need a passport to come back.
Coming back, you need your passport.
That's a little unsettling. It's like, okay, you can go, but you
I have
can't
to
come
tell
back.
you that. I mean, when I'm like, ma'am, please reiterate again, because my comprehension on this one is really.
It's
I
real
mean, you
baffling.
didn't have a
Lewis.
problem with comprehending. All right, let me explain to you what that is now. It's all money making.
I pretty much, I agree, 1,000%.
Yeah. Angel. So it's an ID that you're able to use to travel overseas and to go to in Mexico. That's the only place you could use it to go.
On the road.
But when you return, you're gonna need your passport. So don't leave your passport if you decide to get one of these ID to travel to Mexico. I mean, just travel with your passport. Same thing.
It's so redundant.
Or
It
you
makes
get
no
the
sense.
card,
It is.
because I did apply for my passport card too. But the downfall with also the passport card, you only could go to Canada and Mexico.
Right, on the road.
You can travel within the entire U.S. with it,
Right.
but the two countries you can only travel on, it's Canada and Mexico.
Right. The passport,
You can go back and forth with it.
right, but the
you don't need
passport card
anything
is
extra.
also a real ID. A military card is also considered a real ID.
I mean, that's a part of your real ID infrastructure, because if you
'Cause
don't have
they're
the real
thoroughly
ID
vetted. Like,
license,
mhm.
then the passport card becomes your real ID.
right.
If you need to fly though, that's just more for flying, but it's all, again, as what Mike said,
And
it's
also to
just-
get in the federal buildings, right?
and the federal building. That's correct. That is correct.
It's coming on May 7th.
May 7th, yeah, you make sure you have to have that. Other than that, you can't fly in your regular license. And the thing what I'm getting some inside info from is that it will pose a little challenge, like a cop pull you over. They will start kind of like, if they're gonna ask you 5 questions, then they see this, then now they add 5 questions to the original 5 questions they were gonna ask you, because this may be suspicious why you're not getting your real ID.
Right. Okay.
So these are the things that may pose
So
problems.
what's your suggestions for individuals just start applying for their real IDs right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's $80 for it. If you even have a driver's license and you're gonna go and renew it, it's $80 flat fee, and the real ID is the same thing.
Okay, and it could be renewed at any
No,
time.
the real ID, yeah, you can renew it. You can renew it at any time. You don't really have to wait until it expires. But because of the rules they have in place, where you need to have this in place by May 7th, it's gonna enforce in the federal buildings.
Right.
Like, you don't have these. I think you can go certain places or you can't enter.
When we get there, man.
No, like, it's seriously for individuals to consider. Because say if you have an interview, like an immigration interview or something like that, most of those are federal buildings. You're gonna have to need those IDs.
I don't think that applies to someone like me and you. We already went through that process and passed that.
No, but there are individuals who are still working and getting their status.
Okay, so they're the one who
higher.
needs an ID.
Right.
But you can't get an ID if you're not a citizen, though. Because you're gonna need, in order to get the ID, you need your passport,
You
right?
need a passport. You need a social security.
Wait, in order to get an ID and need a passport, I thought you only need to be a legal resident.
No, that's the enhanced ID.
The real ID and enhanced ID, you need to have your passport and your social security.
But
Birth certificate comes in place, like if you like a non-resident here and you have your green card, that's when that birth certificate comes
I mean,
in place.
you are a resident if you have a green card, right?
right.
Yeah, but I
A
don't
green
think
card
they
is-
don't
a
allow
green-
you to use your
A green
your
card is a real
country.
ID, by the way.
Yeah. It's real ID.
you're still able to use a green card as a form of real ID.
Yeah, I mean that's a real ID too, but you don't want to walk around with like stuff like that.
Right, that's another thing.
So, Preston,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know the leaving you out the conversation. So what's new? What's going on, man? In your world,
What's crack-a-lacking?
your world, what's going on?
Nothing much. I mean, we're pretty much preparing for graduation, getting everything done, getting all the in fact, I'm not sure if I did mention this. For one of our projects, we have to make a product and pretty much sell it. I'm not sure if I did mention that last stream, but yeah, it's going good so far. Hopefully we're able to get it done. And then what do we have next? Upcoming.
What are you making now?
What are you making? We're making a product. Oh, my apologies.
You can take it out if you want.
We're making a cleaning product to where you're able to actually fully clean it. Like, you know how you have those little flashlights, right? Where those blue little flashlights where if you shine it, you could actually see what the dirt that's invisible, right?
That's a light they use to shine on the passport. Like the passport has some features, unless you put it under a blue light, you're not gonna be able to see those features.
Mm-hmm. So what we're doing is something similar to that, but we're gonna use chemicals to tell you if something is still dirty or clean. Like for example, you wipe down this table, right? If you wipe down this table and you want to make sure that it's clean, right? You'd pour the product that we're making on it, test the pH level to see if it's clean or not, and then if it's not, we'll have another product you'll use in order for it to be fully clean.
Okay, it sounds like a breakthrough innovation.
Oh yeah,
So
you have to.
so
It's
So how do you go about making the chemical though? Like, what kind of to make the product? What kind of chemical do you use?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, after they burn down the house.
We have like everything. We have like everything on the phone. What we need. First of all, for the first thing that we need, we were given a specific item that we would have to use, or a specific fruit or item that we'd have to use in order to have it consistent with the project. So what our entire class was given was pumpkin. So we have to make it relating to the pumpkin or having some sort of pumpkin stuff in it. So the first thing we're gonna use is pumpkin abstract. Second thing we're also gonna be using is some citric acid, essential oils. What else? Hydrogen peroxide,
hydrogen peroxide.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound, because that sounds like, when I was in college and now when we were in science class, we had some kind of similar ingredients where we were designing what is called, it's like fuel, some type of a fossil fuel to generate, like, those I'm not sure you remember these machines. It's like those lawnmower machines where you use to cut your grass, which use gasoline, but they were trying to invent a different, maybe like a cleaner. I don't know what like
a clean alternative to
something
gas.
like that. Yeah, something like that. They're trying to do, and at the end of the day, it's kind of sounds familiar, and that was chaos, man. I'm like, it was. I think we caught fire in the lab too.
Flammable too,
and it's flame because it was also messing with our sinus because it's I forgot the some of the chemical where they use where you have to have like
a gas mask on.
Gas mask.
Yeah.
On. So it was even higher. I'm like, yeah, that kind of brings some.
Listen, when we were younger, we used to use dry ice. You know what dry ice is?
Yeah.
With like Pepsi, Coke.
That was crazy.
Used to make bars.
It took me like 20 years to
I can
realize
say
that.
that,
No, you can't. 'cause
yeah, we use.
You get the channel shut down. It's how to make a pipe bomb.
Right here.
Right. When I was young, we used to use kerosene to light the fire outside, and all the fumes be going me and my brother's eyes, and I realized that that's why I kept catching headaches. Like took about 20 years. So you don't want
To realize
to
that,
be in
right?
direct contact with that stuff.
Yeah, but that
But
doesn't
good
sound like
luck with it though.
Oh yeah, we're reaching there. So far, we have the entire thing. Everything is.
Is this high school?
Yeah, this is
supposed
high
to do
school.
that at home or in a lab.
Oh,
Home they gonna do that.
I'm gonna kill everyone at home, right?
My home ain't gonna do
That
that.
doesn't sound safe.
Not my house.
That doesn't sound safe.
Dad, I accidentally spilled the citric acid, bro. We got a floor in the hole. We got a hole in the floor.
No, but as a youth though, I used to do that at home. I used to take everything and pour into like one container to see what kind of reaction I would get.
I would see you as that movie with that not Curious George, not the there was another movie that this kid is a little movie, literally a movie where he always creating problems and he loved put chemicals together and test them on like what this would do, and he would pour like I can't remember the movie. Is it a little I gotta look.
It was like animated?
Remind me.
No, but I
I think
do
I'll
a lot
wear
of
some
stuff
gloves
like
on. Wear some gloves, please. You need gloves, right? You gotta wear gloves, right?
I need everything, bro. This is the type of stuff that I have is like deadly to inhale, man. I need gas masks. I need everything, especially this. This is especially the indicators for the color changing effect. These, this stuff is fatal if you're not handling it properly.
When I see him start turning my complexion, then I realize something's going on.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
He's high colored brown right now, so he's gonna become blacker.
It's a little unsettling. Like, okay.
So what's new, Mr.
You be like,
Khalees?
it's like, oh, the chemical's working.
They're working right.
What you been up to?
I mean, you just saw him, I guess you saw him staying attuned to what's going on in the world right now with all the changes. Like I tried to buy some grocery stuff today, and the guy in the grocery store was talking about why everything's so high. You getting tax extra for it. So,
and I don't see those high prices that you guys are talking about. Like
You live on a rock or something.
one thing that they mention, right? They mention avocados, right?
mm-hmm.
When I go to Whole Foods, the avocados price are coming down. Yes, you go to some Korean store around town and they hike up the price like $5. $5 for one avocado, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to Whole Foods, it's like $2.50. It's been $2.50.
Three for like $2.
Or 5, 4 for $5.
I guess they're not importing it.
No, it's coming from California. That's what I'm saying. We grow avocados, the same avocado that they grow in Mexico.
Right.
We grow it
from
in
California. Wouldn't be
California.
considered
That
import,
one
right?
I didn't understand too, because why those specific avocado that also grow in California, why the prices are so sky high at times?
No, $2.50 is not high for one.
To get him here.
I mean, it's because of this.
What they're doing, they're front running this thing, hiking up the price to 100%.
Yeah, I guess they're taking advantage.
Well, I mean, all of them are going to take advantage because, again, we're kind of still in inflation is not it's
Preston,
fluctuating.
you know what inflation is, right?
Oh yeah, we learned that pretty early on.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's a fancy word for the prices goes up.
The price of goods and services.
Yeah, but
it inflates.
So I don't see what do you really purchase on a weekly base or monthly that you see the price increase, or you saw the price increase?
Well, like for me, I purchase like almond milk. That's skyrocket. Eggs.
From what to what though? Give us numbers.
Okay, so the milk, the almond milk, what I purchased from the Silk brand to the
Blue
To the
Diamond.
nature, it was nature. What something nature?
Yeah,
it's like
by-
the same brand
by-
of cereal that you would. Yeah.
you promise. So they would run from like $3.50. Now they're like $5.49, sometimes $6. Now you would get the 64 gallon. You used to get that for $4, sometimes $4.20. Now they're like $5.99 and change.
And that was the price last year, and the price this year.
That was the price last 3 months ago.
last 3 months ago was last year.
I mean, I'm talking about it like in January, where the prices into last year into this year, the price was
That's
kind
inflation.
of fluctuated a little bit. But after January, it's like it just went up and it stays there.
Yeah, I mean inflation. You know,
Right.
prices
So,
go up. That
and
doesn't have
even
anything
when
to do-
the inflations were kind of water bottling, kind of settling, this price was still there. Eggs still, I mean, it's a little bit better, but eggs are still there. Then you have
what
bread,
about fuel?
fuel?
Fuel
Fuel
seems to have went
fluctuating.
down. It
I
seems
mean,
to have went down though.
At one
A
point, like
lot.
It's like 308 a gallon. I just would guess.
I mean, I'm not sure what gas station you go. I usually target BMP or Mobile. Mobile, I'm love going because Mobile now I was getting gas for like $3.15 a gallon. Now the last time I went back up there, they're like $3.99. BMP, them like for cynical, forget them.
During the last administration, gas prices were like almost $5. if not
$5.
$5. Yeah,
That was in California. That wasn't in New York.
that's here. Yeah,
No,
I
the
used to
most
pay
they-
like $130
Well, we're not
to
talking
full
about-
my.
I entered the country 25 years ago. It was like $1.85 a gallon.
$1.85 a gallon.
Yeah, it's $25. It's
Inflation.
dude, the what is it?
we need an alternative,
The
electric or something.
what I just lost train of thought with the gas thing there. There are certain stations off the highway, and I think this is some really highway robbery. If you go to a gas station in the boroughs or within the city itself, right, like the heart of, like say the Bronx right now. No, you may be you're not off the highway. You'll get gas maybe like what right now is what I've seen gas
Like
now on a regular
$3.89.
time for like $4.10, $4.19, $3.99 and stuff like that. You try to go to a gas station that may be off 95 or FDR or the 95 or whatever the case may be. You're looking like $5.10, $6.
That's not how it works. All right, so
Well, whatever
if-
they're doing, they what they call is gas gouging or whatever. crap.
No, if you're a gas retailer, right, and I'm a distributor, right, whatever I tell you to sell it for, that's what you have to sell it for. So if you have a BP, you have a BP, you have a BP. You know, gas retailers, they don't make money off the gas.
What they make?
How they
money
make
They
on.
make money off like the food mart. That's why most gas station, if not every gas station,
Have a food
there's a
mart.
food mart or a mechanic shop or something like that.
So where does the money?
They make like 10 cents, 5 cents off
What's the
each
point?
gallon.
So where's the yeah?
'Cause
Where does,
I'm thinking these
Yeah.
guys probably buying gas for like 20 cents and then
The
Sell it
companies,
back.
the companies
Exactly.
are the one who really make
That's what
some
I'm
money.
talking.
so where's the money? Where's the
Guys,
money going?
Because
then?
it's a lot of liability
Yeah,
to hold on to that stuff.
the
If you-
gas.
if
So this
you-
is how you make money off like gas, right? So say you purchase it for like $10, right? You purchase a whole trailer,
Barrels.
right? Of gas for $10, and the price goes up. They give you the permission to raise the price because they are in control of the price.
So you were saying if once I buy the gas from you, I don't have the control still?
No. But if I decide to raise it and I tell you that, okay, you were selling it for like at $1.10, you can sell it for $1.30 now. That's how you make money.
What if they decide to lower it?
Yeah? You have to lower it also.
Ouch.
So you made a point earlier and they said, like, for instance, BP as an example. You have BP would be off the side of the highway, which this is my experience with them, whether it's BP, Sonica, or whoever. The moment they off highways, their price is ridiculous. And this is what I was thinking, that because they know that they bring convenience to you, because to get off the highway and then to hunt on a gas station and all that stuff locally, it can be a hassle. So if I'm on the highway or off the highway, even if you get off the first exit and I'm right there, it's still convenient. And I'm thinking that they were charging you based on convenient. And this is why I said this is like a robbery, because the same company, BP is not
British Petroleum.
No, I'm not talking about the company name. I'm talking about they're not franchised.
Yeah, these are all franchise.
They're all franchised?
Yeah.
I know Sonico is not, but
It's corporate owned.
yeah, that I know of.
But BP is definitely franchise.
Okay, so maybe that's the case. So where they can drive up, but it's crazy. I mean, like,
Yeah, but I think
should be some type of regulation, because I'm sitting here thinking, no, I mean, I'm kind of educated based on all they're still making, but I'm still wondering why then again you have one company would have $9,000 for this, then you come here and they're selling you $4,000.
Right, it's a great point. I think at that point it comes down to supply and demand, because they're accessible to a lot more customers being right off the highway. So the traffic is heavier as it would be in the city. You understand?
Yeah, I guess if you stop on the highway, you need gas.
Right.
You get it?
Yeah. That's what I think. That's one of the things why they put it there. I would have done
And
line up a business like
right.
that too.
And it's just supply and demand. You don't have enough supply, you got high demand. The price is gonna go up.
It's like
gonna
in the
spike.
airport. If you're in the airport and you're hungry, if you can't wait to get to your destination, you're gonna overpay for whatever you purchase.
For real, I tried to buy some headphones in the airport. It was like $15.
No, you go
Right in on Walgreens, they $4.50. I was like, yo, what's going on?
You going to the
charger. You try to buy a charger.
Dude, I was thinking about like simple water.
Mm-hmm.
The water you get out. I mean, what part I went to? It was in what part we went to? I think when we were going when my mom passed away. We were going to Jamaica and we had to reroute, and we went to. It was our connecting flight was in.
DC. It was Maryland. Not Maryland. Hold on. Yeah, Maryland.
Yeah. I think
Maryland.
Dude, water in the airport. It was 15. I'm saying, I'm calling. Who was it? I'm sitting there. I'm just like, is this for real?
It's ridiculous. So when you go,
there was an egg sandwich they have in there where they have just an egg and cheese. $8.
And you gotta drink it all before you get
$8.99.
you gotta drink it all before you get on the plane. So
you gotta mention.
Like, this is ridiculous.
You gotta mention the prices at the hotel we stayed at too. They were insane. The prices at the hotel. You know the hotel we stayed at, right?
Yeah. I was there.
You're talking about the hotel too?
They had this the dinner where they give, which I think it should have included because the airport was covering for the errors they created, and I think I wound up going and buy McDonald's because there's no hell with they had this dinner. I think it was like they were talking about some type of a different type of food they have, and I said, all right, they mentioned something about steak. I'm like, that sounds good. Yo, I came out the bill. The bill was like $39
It's ridiculous.
and change
right?
for just a T-bone and 2 potatoes.
You gotta read the fine print. It's
Yo,
crazy.
I'm like, these people are.
It happened to me.
I was like-
I racked up about $40-something for a Coke one day. I was out. I was out in Vegas and I was out in Vegas. I had some food I was trying to put in the refrigerator, so I have it for the morning. And so I kept trying to make space, but every time I lifted up, it was charging. He had I had no idea. Like the refrigerator, every time you lift something up, there's a sensor. So every time I was trying to move,
How much you pay?
it came up at like $49 in the morning. And I'm like, hold on. So you gotta watch out for them smart fridge.
Yo, that's inflation. That's inflation.
That was robbery.
That is,
Yeah. So everyone heard about this Shannon Sharp.
yeah, sadly,
That's
but
going on.
he's pleading for his life right now. His character wise.
You heard about it?
Yeah, some model, some younger model, like quarter of his age or something like that. It seemed like whenever these
Listen, a quarter.
yes,
I don't think she's that young.
Yo, that she usually gonna be like 14 and 12.
yeah.
She ain't that young.
Nah, it's just a little too disproportionate to me. No, but it seems like anytime there's a high profile individual, especially a black individual, somebody will start targeting them. Even if they're just shooting darts in the dark, they're gonna try to catch you. You know what I mean? It's pretty ridiculous.
So what do you think about it? So
Black
what
men
is it?
should
Is
protect
she
themselves a little
underage or
No, it's not on the age.
Wait,
The story goes where they have a relationship.
They were going out.
They were dating according to them. I mean, I don't want to drag it, but according to her, she was saying that Shay were kind of pursuing her in the gym. They met in the gym.
Mhm.
So he was going at her, and according to her, I guess she probably want to make her, if that's true, she want to make herself look good. It's like she wasn't really interested, or maybe she just didn't know he was that famous or something. Whatever. She said she gave in, and then they started dating, and over time, it kind of becoming verbally abusive, and then they
verbally
also-
abusive?
yeah, and then they also getting physically
Physical, too.
abused, where from a sexual standpoint, because there are some things that sexually she don't agree with and want it to happen, and she kind of push him. He forces her to have those type of sex.
Allegedly.
What?
Allegedly.
What? Like what?
Anal sex and those type of things.
Want to sodomize that lady.
Yeah, some stuff like that. Because they have videos.
So
So
has
they have
videos?
text
They have
messages too.
videos. She has the videos, and she brought it to a lawyer, and they brought it to Shay team. And according to
recorded
even
it?
this was on Breakfast Club too.
Who record this?
I don't know who recorded. I don't think
They
Shay Shay
offered
would
her
do that.
$100 million.
What?
No, this was
10.
the $100 million was for the was for his podcast deal, and then this is when the story broke up.
His lawyers came out and said they offered the girl some money.
Oh, they did.
$10 million. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly.
I didn't. But guess who is his own lawyer?
Yeah, I heard the same guy that
That was
accused
trying to
Jay-Z.
Busby.
Squeeze Jay-Z. But I don't know. Some things,
The guy they call the ambulance chaser.
the way he came on with some and how he was speaking, he was hardcore. It is like this is no gimmick. This is no joke, because according to him too, he said that they provide. Shay claimed that the video was modified, and they said we have the real video, so we want you to show us where we modify. And they invite him and his team to come and watch it, and he refused to watch it.
Oh, that
Shay,
Shay.
which is the girl lawyer asks Shay team and their lawyer to come and watch the
Shannon
full
Sharp, right?
Right.
That sounds like an admission to guilt.
And he refuses, and he and his team refuses to watch it.
I don't get it.
Why
So
would he
okay, so
refuse?
so what did he do? He forced her.
He
to
forced
do-
her,
Well,
even
he
though they were in
forced
a
her-
relationship.
He
According to her,
strong-armed her against her will.
he forced her to have certain type of sexual act. That's one. The other thing too, the verbal abuse, and also threatened her, where she had some. She said there was one time she kind of ghosted him, where he did it. You know, in a relationship when you get upset at each other and they kind of isolate themselves, and she kind of ghosted him for whatever case may be, and he's making calls, calling her. She's not answering him, and then eventually, you know, they got back and link up after everything calmed down, and she claimed that he said to her that if you ever do this shit again, I'm gonna kill you. So I don't know how true that is. I mean, she could be making up stuff. It could be true. I don't know, but it's a sad story for him. I mean, and the other thing too is it's Caucasian, so I don't know how this is gonna play out really nasty.
Right,
I mean,
doesn't-
based on even
Doesn't
the
look too
Breakfast
it
Club
doesn't look
and-
too favorable for
in a
him.
relationship, things are said most of the time that are you don't really mean, right? But what is the real issue is that he forced her to do.
I think that's where it's coming. You know, but look at it too. You know that you can rape your wife.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that nonsense.
Why you don't believe? Why you don't believe in that nonsense? You
Because
can rape your wife.
It's your wife.
No, not because
so
it's
what?
your, not because it's your wife. If you tell your black behind no punani tonight, and you go on manhandler and tie her up and take that pull, that is statutory rape.
I wouldn't say you should tie her up.
Even if you
But-
you don't have to tie her up. Let's say you manhandler.
Like myself,
If it's not
I'm sure
consensual, of course.
you're in
Yeah.
you're in a relationship. It's not every time your partner, right? Your wife says to you, no, they mean no. Like they say, oh, stop touching my ass. They don't really mean it.
You play Russian roulette over there.
Right, it is Russian roulette. But of course, you know, y'all share that.
No, but if you're my wife, right? If you're my wife, and you said stop touching you, right?
Right.
I'm done.
And I touch. I mean, no, yes, no,
Matter
but
of fact, I'm reading
Yes,
your
no.
thoughts before you even say that.
you ever seen those like funny clips?
It's not like you're intimidated by the thought
You
of
ever
it.
seen those funny clips on social media where a man walk past their wife or their girl and they keep touching her ass, and she turns around and look at him all, weird. And the moment he doesn't do it, she walks back to him and says,
Oh, I've seen those clips. I've seen
So
those
that's
clips.
that's what I mean, right?
I mean, I've seen stories live. When I use the term live, meaning incidents like this happen, where a wife accused the husband of molestation or rape. Girlfriend does the same thing and stuff like that, because the thing is, they feel. I mean, it's their body. I mean, if they in the mood and they're not in the mood, or you in the mood for whatever the case may be, and it doesn't necessarily mean that. Well, it's sexual molestation we're talking about anyway. So, if she is in, and it goes for a male too, if your wife or your girlfriend can rape you too. But rich man gonna go and go. Rich man gonna go get something like that happen to them and go like, yeah, you know what? My wife or my girlfriend raped me.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna. But
It's not gonna go well. But how do they prove that? How do you prove that?
what?
Like somebody actually did what they're.
I mean, they have to go by your word.
No, then it means that anybody could
Go
say something.
And that is true.
Yeah.
That's how dangerous it is. That's how dangerous it is, because I can just go over there and just, you know what? he look at me funny or she look at me funny, you know, he sexually harassed me.
So they're saying that Shannon Sharp sexually harassed her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's saying that she never supported him having anal intercourse with her. So if she's saying that, of course, that's a serious crime.
So they're in a relationship or they're not?
They are in a relationship.
They used to be.
No, they were in a relationship when all of this is happening. This fall apart. Their relationship recently fall apart because of all of this stuff is going on. It sounds fishy because number one is that Shannon, I think he announced that there was a $100 million deal
On the line phone.
with his podcast, and right after that, I think maybe days or if not, the story broke out.
Trying to throw a wrench.
You think she's trying to take the money?
I don't know, man.
And why you wait so long? I would never understand those dynamics. But
Yeah, right?
I mean, it could be convenient too. Maybe she was just sitting there and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna launch on this guy now, and then, you know, as time goes by, this deal fall in place. I don't know.
Could be.
The convenience is there too.
innocent.
Or it could be fear, like
Bro,
it could be fear too.
yeah, they could be staging the whole thing.
Yeah, of
just
course,
to
just to
put
bring
some
him down.
traction and the hype, you know.
A publicity stunt?
Yeah,
You'll be surprised.
you
will be
never know
surprised.
these Hollywood individuals. You know what I'm saying? But if you a black man in America, protect yourself. I guess anywhere, you know, because individuals see that you might have something. They see an opportunity. They don't see you for who you are as an individual. They see you as an opportunity. So people might want to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's called the sociopath.
There exists.
I usually try and encourage our black men.
So she wants what, $50 million?
I didn't even hear the price yet. If she put up any amount. One of the room I heard that she got an offer and she rejected it. She said she don't want it. It's not about
$10
the
million.
money.
Oh, it's not about the money. So what does she want?
I have no idea. When you contact her, let me know. And ask her. I don't know. I mean, again, it could be this the stunt they're pulling off. The way things. I mean, but pulling off a stunt like that to slander your character in that sense. I mean,
Pray for
money.
pray for her.
Pray for her.
Pray for her. This guy has too many people on payrolls right now. You're affecting those individuals' food. You're not gonna take liking.
True that.
So
True that.
At the end of the day, they could also all of them could be in courts.
right.
You know, yeah. There was a story back. I think it was
I
maybe
think-
about a couple of decades ago, where some similar situation. This woman was suing this guy or his a partner, and whatever the case may be, and come to find out after all the lawsuit went and everybody getting each cuts and stuff like that. They come find out that all of them was a part of the scheme where they were doing something where the way they set it up is like they were making money, like they sue you and your insurance have to do this and then you pay this and you put in some type of trust this and it was so, I'm sitting there, it's like people sit down and really
Hustle, you know, hustle.
they really go through these.
Yes.
Well, I think a great takeaway is that, you know, no is no.
Yeah, no, it's no, but
What do you mean, but?
no, but so it's alleged that he did all of this. We don't know if he did. any of
Let's
it,
say he
right?
did.
I think you
Right.
just dismissed the
You're-
whole thing when you
you're
said but.
saying that you don't think he
No,
has
but
the
you-
right.
So, as I said, you know, when you're in a relationship,
What, your rights
especially
is
in a
gone?
married, in a marriage,
Well, your rights is gone.
you're right.
No, that's what I mean, because you're saying when you're in a marriage. So I'm saying once you're in a marriage, all your rights is gone.
No, I don't
You
think
sound like-
anyone should force anyone to do anything against their will.
But
I
you
don't
just
think
said
so.
but.
Yeah, but
Right.
This thing about a husband raping you. I don't buy that.
You don't buy that?
No.
Well, when you tried,
Try what?
I mean, in the sense of if you in a situation and your wife or
I'm
girlfriend,
different still,
you're
because
different. You just beat them over the head. And
no,
just-
no, I'll
I'm just kidding, folks.
I'll turn my back. Yeah, I'll turn my back.
I don't.
You don't even have to say no. Just be upset and see.
That's
I
good.
turned my back for 1 month straight. I can't hold out that long.
Nah, I think
Oh man.
that type of stuff. You got to be a real malicious person. I think first of all, I don't like I said, I don't know the depth of what people go through.
Yeah.
But to call authorities on somebody you
Each
love,
relationship is different.
But
you live with.
okay, so here's another side twist to this, because you do have females like these mysterious, aggressive, spontaneous behaviors
Right.
where they wouldn't look at it as maybe rape or something like that. They like these type of stuff.
Right.
Now,
The masochist, the one that said, "Punch me in my mouth, daddy."
slap me, kick me, throw me through the window, daddy.
yeah.
Yeah, daddy. If you don't do that, daddy, you don't love me, daddy.
Case in point, no.
No, it's true. It's true.
But that's reality. This is not, even though we're laughing, this is serious fact. I have,
But what if they do? What if they tell you to do that, then turn around and report you?
I mean,
Right,
just
but you
record it.
gotta-
At that point, just record it, bro.
Right, but
you're cooked at
but
that point.
you got to
What if
understand.
that
It's
was
still,
it?
But no,
it's
you
still-
still would get
it's
in trouble
it's still,
because
it's
that's
still
it.
illegal. It's still a violation.
yes.
Nobody
No,
can
they're
tell
giving you
to-
permission to do
Yeah, but
that.
nobody
though.
can tell you to inflict harm on them.
What?
No, it's
There's a
illegal.
law, there's something
If
on
you
the law
violate-
books. I can't give you a pinpoint.
A human
but
being can like willfully inflict harm on another human being. It's illegal.
what they
It's a
what
violation.
what it comes down to is that you should have, like, I come and tell you, Mike, beat the crap out of me. You should have the knowledge.
No, a female.
even
say
a
that
female,
to you.
even a female.
So you never had. Right, go ahead.
A female,
Honestly.
a female come to you and say, beat the crap out of me. Or let's say,
No, during sexual intercourse.
Very specific.
Don't leave that out.
Very
don't leave
specific.
that. I don't know. I mean, if a female tell you, beat her, chop her up.
No, not chop up.
Well, beat her up, punch her in the head, spit on her, whatever the case may be.
Interesting.
I mean, you're
Interesting.
going kind of far. Just do that slap on the ass cheek thing. Like, what
I
about
mean, that is standard, but you mean
pull my hair? What about that?
that is standard stuff. I mean, but we are talking more aggressive stuff. I mean,
Yeah, choke.
choking. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're choking her till she almost die, I mean, and okay, let's say she tell you to do all of that,
Right.
right? And then later on down the line, she's like, you know what? This nigga was trying to kill me for real.
Right. I mean, our emotions shouldn't outweigh our common sense.
I mean, during sexual intercourse, it's pure emotions. No?
No,
Should be.
we should never lose our faculties. I mean,
It is touchy. It is touchy. I mean, it can be challenging. You just have to apply the best wisdom as possible in these situations.
I think don't hurt anybody despite
And
the,
then
despite the circumstances. You don't.
you would
want-
have to know the female you are involved with, whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, or whoever your
I mean,
significant.
stroking could be a form of aggression also.
Of course, I mean
And
you're stopping, you're putting
No,
pressure points.
Stroke. not
Oh, stroke. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think doing that, you're setting yourself up. You just
What
setting
what if
doing that. You just setting
female
yourself.
was supposed to report that
You stroke
during
too
sexual
hard.
intercourse while you were stroking?
Too hard.
You still go to jail.
You still go to jail?
Absolutely, absolutely. You got the scars to prove it. You'll set yourself up to be struck down.
Not stroke. Stroke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You understand what's going on, right?
yeah. At some point, you should stop.
What if she said don't?
Don't stop, Daddy. Don't stop.
I know better. I know where you go with it.
You see,
but
and that was one of the point I was kind of piggyback off. You should know better. So, at the case in point, what you mentioned that a female or a male. Well, we stick in the content. A female says, "Listen, beat me, daddy. Kill me, daddy. Whatever the case is."
No, I don't know about the killing. I don't know about the killing.
Right? So she's invited to do all of that, right? And then later on down the line, she has some type of serious confliction.
Right.
I mean, and then she's like, hell no, this Negro was really trying to kill me. I'm reporting this behind.
So, what would be the argument though in the court of law? I told him to do so and he did it, but
he went too aggressive with it. But then again, this is the point. No, they probably would charge you because you should know better that this can create serious harm, even though your guys were in the passion of the moment of that time or whatever premeditated structure you guys had together. You as the person who is going to inflict these injuries.
So having someone in
it should be
on
your moral
knees,
obligation not
Right.
to.
so
Yeah.
having a girl on your knees, right, or female on their knees in a dog style. Can that be? Can that inflict like some form of trauma?
What?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on the female, I guess. And that
They could say my knees
we're in pain.
yeah.
I mean, I think there are cases, you know what I mean, when that stuff is justified. You understand? But the thing is that you gotta understand that somebody's emotion, one of y'all have an impaired emotion at that point. It's no longer rational or normal. You in ecstasy. When you say cloud 9, you in cloud 9. Going off the wall. So one of y'all gotta make sure.
And the thing is gonna
Need
fall
some
back.
Consent.
Contract, right?
Form,
Listen,
right?
we're gonna do
You're gonna
this.
have to
Yeah, but
Matter
it
of fact,
doesn't-
that's
it-
not only
it doesn't-
that, notarized in this.
Have you ever read? Have you
It
ever
doesn't-
read
it doesn't
the book or
supersede
watched
the law.
movie, 50 Shades of Grey before?
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the. Oh.
You know, girls love stuff like that.
Mhm.
I mean, that was abuse, though. If you were supposed to look at it in that,
It is. I mean, and then the thing that she could report you to.
huh?
She could report you too with it. I mean, if you look on the same thing with 50
I think it's abuse if it's against their will and they're being controlled. But if they're volunteering to be treated like that, then it's no longer abuse. You understand?
No, I mean,
That's
That's my point.
It's an
No,
experience.
we at a common ground. That's my point. Like
Mhm.
a girl, female is asking for that. They want to be dominated.
Right.
And how do you dominate them? By pulling their hair, placing your hand around their throat,
Mhm.
slapping sometime ass cheek,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, you do it at your own risk.
but again,
if they're asking for it,
Yeah, you do it at your own risk.
you have to apply. certain
Those
wisdom.
possibilities still exist that it could spiral out of control.
Remember,
You get yourself in the jam.
remember the individual also could have a correlation with psychological issues as well.
Right, past
So,
trauma,
right.
untreated
So
traumas.
You, in terms, would have to have the ability to know that this situation may linger or may reach into a stage where this is gonna create some serious harm.
Mike,
just gonna have to record every session. Then.
Mike, so like you're telling me, let me check the chapter first.
Stop. Let me see if I can.
Hold on.
Let me read. Let me
Hold on,
read.
let me check
Let me
the
read
book
up if that's okay. Let me read if that's okay.
I like to have conversation. I like to have conversation during sex.
Yeah.
Like, yo, tell me what you want. Tell
Right.
me what you like.
Beat me, daddy. Beat.
Yeah,
Hold on. Last week when you were doing that, you know what? Can I think about it? No, I didn't really like it. No, go good luck with that.
I think we all know our persons and we know the limit to go with them.
No,
like,
I mean,
you wouldn't experiment.
experimenting.
You wouldn't experiment with a stranger.
No, you experiment with your person.
Right.
But your person, just like look on Shay as an example, your person can also flip the script.
But the truth of the matter is, I personally believe if you love somebody, you don't want to see them go through any injurious stuff.
What?
If you love somebody, you don't want to see them go through injurious stuff.
Like what?
You slapped her, you punched her in the face. Like,
No, I mean, that's extreme.
Drop kicking her or something.
Yeah.
I know about that punching.
A little too extreme.
But the sad part is that they do entertain stuff like that. Females do entertain stuff like that. There was I think when I was when I was in high school and reside down Yankee Stadium area, there was I think it was a Spanish female. She'd literally get abused every day by her boyfriend. Black eyes like this on a daily basis. And the mother is like, reached to the point where she hated her daughter. I mean, she was grown. Reached to the point she hated her daughter. And I'm thinking now that this woman probably hates this man's guts. Come to find out that she said, if raw for raw, if this nigga don't do shit like this to me, I know he doesn't love me. He loves some other bitch.
No, I've heard that before, but I think
this is crazy.
Like
and I'm sitting there like, I think I'm in a twilight zone or something because this cannot be real.
I've heard that plenty of times.
I used to see when I was growing up. I used to see my neighbor. He drink every day. He got like 6 stairs to go up. He fall on the second, the third one. And he beat the lady all night. And the neighbor said, "Come inside, come inside." Like she take a beating, but the next day they hold their hands going to the beach.
That is true.
That
I think there was some issue. A friend of
We
mine,
don't condone abuse.
correct. We never support that. Whether it's male and male, female and female, we never support anyone. Violence.
But
I mean, let me clear it up this way.
Interjection. Mike with his interjection. You're right, but
Disclaimer.
Let's clean it up. However, I am not gonna sit and knowing that my life is in danger by another species or by another person and not defend myself. Vice versa for if
she crabs you, right? Like claws you during.
you up to something with these questions.
everything okay at home, bro? Everything okay at home?
Report that as a man, right?
What? That's evidence. He was beating the crap out of you. See those clothes?
Right.
I mean, it would. I don't know. Maybe it's painful for her, so she just onto you, I guess.
Maybe it was pleasurable enough. That's the only expression.
Right, they're gonna look at you, might laugh at you.
You gotta have these conversations before you jump into these things,
I mean, having the conversation.
Maybe we go to Gemini.
Gemini gonna tell you, well, long story short, you're playing Russian roulette. I would rather.
You're playing Russian roulette.
We gotta have Elon come up with some of those headsets, so we could do like a cyber sex. Like she sits there, I sit here, we imagine each other.
And get cyber crime charge.
See, you can't escape it.
He virtually hit me.
He virtually hit me.
Any closing?
My avatar has a black eye, bro. Please.
Right.
You were looking at me too hard on the camera. I didn't like it.
That's why in the metaverse you don't have for the avatars you don't have a waist down. It's like what your tummy up. Your waist, no waist down, so you can
wander off.
That's what they say. mean, that's lizard man, Mark. You think Mark is a lizard?
Who's Mark?
Mark
Kristen.
Zuckerberg. Me?
Yeah.
No, I think he's just he's either just a weird dude or just
Facebook Mark.
he's just a weird dude or just like he's actually not weird and evil, bro. Both weird and evil. I'd say.
Why do you say that?
Because his the Facebook security is absolutely dog. It's terrible, man. I mean, you got accounts being hacked left and right. You got data. I think it was data being sold on Facebook. They Facebook is not a place. Yeah. Facebook is not a place. It's not a friendly place for users of the site, man. It is not friendly at all. They're out for.
That's why we should overshare information.
Mm-hmm.
I think the government should have full control and manage.
I disagree. Government want full control. Let them build a social media platform.
But I mean,
Truth Social.
when I mean control, meaning regulate what these companies do. For instance, with Facebook, there are certain things these guys allowed to take place, especially in election time. The government should have some regulation put in place.
Like what though?
Like certain things, they certain policies are certain things they allow. Like for instance, they don't allow people will make all type of propaganda and publicize it on Facebook, and Facebook don't fact check them.
I mean,
right?
Free speech, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't mean
it's between a rock and a hard place, because first, if you do kind of some type of a control over freedom of speech, then you don't really have freedom of speech then, right?
And
So I'm
So-
going to move away from using the platform. Like, if I'm
Then
not
on top
able
of
to
that-
express myself,
Yeah, and then on
But
top
then
of
again,
that,
you don't want to allow them to spread propaganda too. So how
Yeah.
do you define and control
yeah,
that
but
structure?
that's like a government state. Like, we don't want the government to control everything we do. You know?
Right. Be a bit too overreaching.
Yeah.
But
They're not even doing what we want them to do. So why do we want them to, you know, minimize?
Well, and this is why society is going to just remain screwed up, messed up.
Stagnant.
I like social media platform that allows that, especially Twitter. When you go over there, and Twitter is like debates all day,
on Reddit.
and you have everyone. You have people who have a voice to people who don't have a voice, and they all debate.
Right, but I'm saying now you have a debate, that would be fine. But then again, no, I may have some rude or malicious intention to spread propaganda. So I come there and Johnny over there got sued for $9,000, and he was the vice president of
where else is
Kisco.
that information?
That's why we have all these conspiracy theories going on
There
right
you
now.
go. Right. Where else can you find that information? Because someone is going to check, you know. Someone is going to be like, okay, I went and I searched the social media platforms in China, and I searched all the news in China. I didn't find this news that you guys are spreading here in the U.S. Someone is going to check you.
Yeah, but by that time, you already poisoned 250,000,
That's
$500,000.
not how it works.
whatever the case may
That's
be.
not how it works. We're more intelligent than that. We're more intelligent.
That's what
than
you
not Twitter users, not Twitter users, not Twitter users, but
That's why
more
you feel like
No, but government should have some type of intervention or control. I've seen international news where a neighbor called to report a situation. It wasn't even like that, but it's on the Facebook page already. And they calling me in the hood like, that's not what happened, right? I mean, you talking to a direct family member, and the local police report not even saying that. Well, there you go. Spreading
that's another thing too.
misinformation.
Government already want you to believe what they want. You already believe in what the government wants you to believe.
Right.
So
That's why
imagine
they.
you give
That's
them
why
food.
they filter the programs. If you watch a lot of the news feed that we get here, it's not the news feed that
That's
you get
what
when
I'm
you're
saying.
overseas.
Like
Like-
CNN come and they tell you, oh, this is taking place in Jamaica. You call someone in Jamaica, like, nah, man, that's not taking place here.
Right.
I mean, listen, that's why as what
We don't get certain news feed.
me and Justin were on our our last Mike and Mike. I discovered, but I watch everything. He always saying that I watch him, but I watch CNN Facts. I don't like Fox, but I watch them. I
Why
CNN.
you dislike Fox?
I like because they're biased network.
So who's
CNN
not biased?
What?
Who's not biased?
All networks are biased, but let me rephrase it. They have this high magnitude of biasness. It's like the supremeness.
Fox News, if it's not favorable for Republicans, they're not going with it.
Same thing with CNN.
CNN,
if
if
it's not
it's
favorable
not
for
favorable for
Democrats.
but
they
then
ain't
you
going with
you
it.
have
So
yeah,
you watch both of them to get perspective.
but
Right.
then again you have networks out there, like NBC, you have ABC, 11, you have Red,
left.
Justin,
CBS.
CBS.
ESPN.
They have a little bit of bias in them, but they're not extravagant like these two guys. I mean, where you call CNN and Fox. So those are the things. That's the level I'm coming from. Where even though these guys are high level bias, I still watch them. And as what Justin said at the end of the day, we watch these things, and we take from there, and from there we brought a conclusion together. And take out the nonsense out of the
Right, we've
take out the goodness out of the
been
nonsense.
able to contextualize
Right.
that stuff. And that's,
No, if I'm just
some heavy stuff.
reading on one network, then I'm going to be completely brainwashed and just run with everything what they say.
Fact.
You can't be objective when you start doing stuff like that.
Fact check. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. We
It's
do
a-
it
it's a
here too.
balance. We
We
gotta have a
do it here
balance.
at the garage.
Absolutely.
You come upon here,
Yeah,
we're going to fact check you.
I like that.
Right? So, by the way,
100%.
well, folks, I think we reached that moment. It was a all around good topics. We have discussed about society and what's happening and things, what's going on out there in the real world. It's sad of things what's facing and what's happening in this country worldwide, but life goes on and we just have to live it as it comes, in one day at a time. Plan as things head our way. We just plan for it and try our best to live in the way that we can help ourselves and help our brother or sister, not necessarily by blood, but your neighbor, your friend, as what the street would call my bro. Help each other out. We're gonna need each other in today's time. How we see society is floating right now is we need unity. So
Everything is fine, man. The weather is nice. Me and my people here having a conversation on a podcast, speaking freely. Everything is nice.
So because
I know
you're
about
speaking
this
freely.
doom and gloom. I know about this doom and gloom and
well,
fear-mongering
as
and
I
all
said,
that.
sometimes
Everything is good.
he lives under this rock where he comes out every quarter and he surfaces and he.
I think you attract what you will. If you think it's all doom and gloom, that's what you're gonna.
It's
attract.
not all gloom and doom, but I mean, at the end of the day, you have your gloomy days and you have your bright days.
Every day is bright.
Every day is bright.
Every day is bright.
That's some heavy stuff.
Utterly
though. I think-
delusional.
Yeah, nah,
You see, I live in not reality, but actuality.
the actuality is real. I think most importantly though, when everything else break, we should never let our spirit break.
Yeah,
We
I
should
mean,
always-
you come from that level, yeah.
We
Share
should-
with this guy.
Thank you for the follow report.
Say that again.
On the report, right?
What
So,
happened?
Preston, what is your final thought?
My final thought. I have to say, although the world may be plagued with like bad stuff are gonna happen. Yeah, bad stuff are gonna happen. It's best to keep informed about those tragedies, but it's also important to keep yourself. How do I put this? Not give in to that. Be mentally of sound mind. Not let it get to you. Come to it at a logical angle. That way you're not all doom and gloom and depressed by the news that comes out.
Thank you.
That's real. That's heavy though.
No, seriously, like there's a law. It's called the law of attraction. Like if you focus on all this negative stuff, man, that's what you're gonna attract. You have to see what you want because everything starts here, in your mind.
You can't just Also, yeah, you can't focus on the doom and gloom. Although, yeah, you shouldn't focus too much on the doom and gloom. You still have to, keep it aware, like keep it in your sights. So you know what's going on. How would it affect you or other people? And how do I put this? Like, be aware of it, but don't let it affect you. That's how I put it. Yeah.
Be aware of it. Don't let it affect you.
You can sum it that way in that case because you have to still expect that things are not going to work out always the way you plan.
No, you want to expect that things are going to work out.
You can put that expectation
your favor.
in 9 billion light years.
You don't have any faith, man.
It's not. It doesn't mean that it will happen. So you can emphasize your mind thought, your process. You know what? I want to become a billionaire next week. And you put all of that energy into it and stuff like that. And all of that happened and it doesn't happen. All of that stuff planning you put it doesn't happen.
Step by step. I wouldn't say you should want to become a billionaire next week.
It's a figure of speech. Let's say over time. All right, let's be more practical. You want to become a billionaire. Let's say you're 15, you're 20 now, or you're 35, and you say by the age of 55, I want to become a billionaire. You hit that 55, and you're still under 1,000 year. What you do?
No, you're all depressed and punctured.
It depends. I'd say it depends on the context of the I say it depends on the context. Like for example, using your example. Oh yeah. pretty much it depends on the context. If you're gonna set a goal for yourself, you have to have the confidence to, reach that goal. But you also have to be well grounded to know that there are gonna be some setbacks that will hinder your goal or just stop it altogether. You have to take that into account, but you also cannot let it affect you, like mentally take you down. You still have to have that sense of confidence in you in order to achieve the next goal that you want to set, while also taking into account that the step backs you will face along the way.
Wait, your piece, Mr. Prime Minister.
Yeah, I think just like what I was saying, keep it positive, be around very positive individuals, have a positive state of mind and have resources, if we have money, trying to conserve and stretch those monies. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, we have something to fall back on. When you feel like you don't have a safety net or something to fall back on, it's easier to get affected by all the external elements and stuff that's going on. But if a lot's going on outside and your household is good, you're safe. Like if a catastrophe, crisis, storm, or whatever could be going outside, and But if my refrigerator is stocked, my house is sturdy, my people's good, I could absorb that.
No lawsuits.
No lawsuits. I like that. That's a perfect,
Yes,
perfect
people.
pitch.
Track what you will, you know. Yeah, we want to thank you for joining us on the next episode of the Garage Podcast. Yeah, please feel free to call us, you know. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Tell us what you want us to talk about. No worry. Next week, me and Mike, we're gonna get a haircut, you know.
It's
we
coming.
could
It's
look
coming.
fresh like.
You gotta look
an
fresh
angel,
like
yeah.
President.
Yes.
If
Aight.
you can donate too for a fresh cut.
Peace.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace.